Work-life balance is not some lofty idea or luxury for the few. It's a skill, a strategy, and mostly a choice. If you ever felt like you're spinning plates, throwing them at the same time and trying to catch them, you're in the right place. Let's try to look at work-life balance and time management. By the end of this video, you will see that work-life balance isn't really about working less or living more. It's about rethinking how you approach both. If we haven't met before, my name is Klim and I'm a CEO. On this channel, in my writing and on my podcast, we talk and look at evidence-based approaches on how to improve your life, make you thrive, and make your business energizing. I think that first of all, we really need to set the priorities straight. What are you trying to achieve right now and what is your purpose? Let's see that work-life balance is a really common phrase right now, and it has been mystified, it has been put into a pedestal, it has basically made into this godly thing that everyone's trying to achieve, but no one really knows what it is. Let's first think about yourself. Write down what are your 3 top goals right now, and if you don't have them, write them down. It can be actually having a nice life, talking with your family, spending time with your kids if you have them, or it can be focusing only on work. Yes, it's not sexy right now to say, oh, you know, productivity and everything else, that you have to work and you have to focus on one thing, but in reality is, if you're trying to earn money, if you're trying to be as productive as possible and you're trying to do as much as possible, who is to stop you? I think work-life balance is a personal choice, and work-life balance can be a balance between a lot of work and no life. You have to choose for yourself what you want and what are you looking to achieve short-term and long-term. You also have to realize the videos, the content on social media that you see about work-life balance, they're made by people. The work-life balance between a CEO and a guy at the Starbucks is completely different. They have different priorities, different results that they wish to achieve, and also on top of all that, they have less or more responsibilities. There is no magic bullet for work-life balance. You have to look at yourself and choose what your priorities are and what your percentage of work and life is for your life. There is a huge problem with have it all. There is no way to have a lot of work and a lot of life. There is no such thing. You have to understand that sometimes the life is about giving up some of the things. Sometimes you have to say no to go into a party in order to work a little more. But sometimes working overtime or taking one more shift can mean that you actually don't enjoy the time, so you cancel that and go with your friends to party or to a bar. In the end, you have to understand what work-life balance is for you and what you would like to have. The second part is that it's actually not about the amount of hours you work, but the quality of them. We know about the Parkinson law, where the time basically that you have is filled by the work that you have. So, for example, if you're working full-time and you're trying to do a hobby, you have only 1 hour per week to do it. Of course, you're gonna do the most efficient, the most exciting, and the best thing for you for this hobby to do, all right? In most cases, when people quit their job to start or work on their side hustle full-time, they find out that they actually spend 2 hours per day working on a side hustle and filling the rest of the day with useless things. And in the end, it doesn't grow the same way it used to when the person had a full-time job. So in the end, you have to understand that the Parkinson's law states that the amount of time you give to a problem or to a thing, that's the amount of time it will actually take. So if you take 2 hours, in most cases you can do anything in 2 hours. Yes, the quality can differ, but that's not the point right now. The point is quality always beats out quantity. Right now, write down in the Google Calendar or on a piece of paper the non-negotiable times and things that you have to do every single week. That's the time you will have to go to work, you will have to commute to work, you have to look after the kids, you have to spend dinner with the kids or with the family, the things that you cannot avoid. And when that is done, you have a perfect list with gaps that you can fill in order to do the things that matter to you. Or for example, if you're looking to actually work better in the company, right? To be more efficient, to spend less time working remotely, for example, achieving your goals and achieving the things that you want and spending more time on your side hustle or your family, write down how much time it actually takes you and what meetings are actually important, and work with them. Also, there are so many distractions right now. Turn off the phone, turn off the notifications, don't listen to music that is with lyrics, try to listen to lo-fi or maybe actually classical music, and try to make it as energizing as possible without distractions. Let's look at your goals. In the first part, I asked you to write down what are your 3 priorities right now, what are your 3 goals. If you wrote them, let's achieve more, that's kind of useless goal. If you said, oh, let's bring $1 million more to the company or to myself, that's also kind of useless because you didn't have a time frame, you didn't have which way you try to do that, and basically you didn't actually write it down. Let's specify it. Let's reframe every goal you had and let's write down with the question of what brings the most value to achieve this goal. And let's break it down in 3 more part steps. So for example, if the goal was to get $10,000 more this year into personal income, let's ask ourselves, what are the first and most important steps that we can take in order to achieve this goal? Let's write down the amount of time I have, what will be the actual tool that we will use to achieve this goal, what we will bring to people, and who we can sell this to, right? How we can earn this money. Maybe it can be as simple as, okay, I'll take more shifts at work in order to bring this so I have a more work-life balance next year, right? So make sure to write this down. And the last part is actually creating the balance. I think that it's important to understand what your life is right now. Audit it. I really like the exercise where I take 2 days per week and I write down every single thing that I did. You can probably do it once a quarter where you write down, you woke up, you ate breakfast, you spent time with your family, you went to work by commuting, what did you do on commute, what did you do at work, and everything. I try to stick with 15-minute period where I track and I write down in a separate calendar what I did. That allows me to understand and then compare with the goals that I have. Am I actually focusing on the things that are important? Am I actually focusing on things that bring the most value? If I'm not, well, then I'm doing something wrong. Make sure to audit yourself in order to understand. Maybe you have a work-life balance right now. Maybe you don't need anything anymore. Or maybe your work just kind of sucks and you have to change it because you have 6 hours per day to rest, but you're not restful. Well, okay, maybe the 8 hours you spend at work are so demoralizing and so painful that you just hate it. So yeah, change that. The second part is build boundaries that stick. If your friends are out partying and you spend time partying with them because why not, it's your friends. In the end, if you're feeling sick, if you're feeling tired, if you're not energized by this, build boundaries that you don't go to parties. Build boundaries that allow you to spend time much more useful, like going to sports, walking in the nature, speaking with friends that fulfill you, building things that actually matter for you and for your family. It can be as simple as spending quality time with your kids or your wife. It can also be no email zones like time or place. It can also be just personal time where you don't schedule anything because it's reserved for things that matter to you. And balance isn't static. It's not like something you're creating right now and never changing. It's actually more decide that, okay, let's audit what is happening right now. Let's change it. Let's see how it goes and improve it 1% per day. We all know the thing that 1% per day is 36 times better in a year, which is insane. And what we're trying to do is start. Do the first step, do the first thing. And then when you did that, when you started, it's so much easier to continue and iterate. Just make sure to start, schedule it, build with it, do for 21 days, and then let's see how it goes. You can always change that. I'm actually taking responsibility for this video and I'm saying you have to start now. Write down your goals, write down your audit, try to think what you can improve so you have a better fulfilling and quality time with everyone around you and you're actually doing the things that matter to you. Do it right now, and if you did, watch this video. That is amazing for your work-life balance and for your business if you're into that.